Hey, 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 it's your girl Talia, and I'm ready for you to invade my space. Welcome to Talia Space, y'all, where we're going to be talking about everything. You hear me? We're going to laugh, we're going to cry, and most of all, we're going to love on each other, y'all. Let's talk. What's up, my social media family? It's your girl Talia. Welcome to Talia Space, y'all. Welcome to the Look Good, Feel Good, Be Good podcast. Okay. Y'all already know what to do. Go ahead and go get your wine, go get your water, go get your Kool-Aid, go get your tea, because y'all know what I'm about to say. Because we going to talk down tonight, y'all. Okay. Okay. I hope you guys have gotten over the Thanksgiving holiday. I hope that you have eaten all your turkey and dressing and greens. And I also hope that you've already thrown it away because it's way too long overdue for leftovers. Okay. Leftovers is done. It's time for something new. Go ahead and start cooking them kids something else because Thanksgiving is over and so are the leftovers. All right. But I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you spent time with your family. I hope it was a good time. And I hope you was able to love on everybody. Okay. I stayed at home. I cooked for my own family and everything was great. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving as well. But it's the 11th episode. I hope you guys are excited, just as excited as I am. Hope you guys caught the last episodes. If not, I want you to go back and start watching from episode 1. Okay. Go ahead and start doing that. But I want to talk about, on this podcast, I want to talk about don't give up, okay? Because help is on the way. I know, sometimes we feel like nothing is panning out, nothing is coming through. Nothing is you don't see any results, you don't see any productivity. You feel like everything is not going your way. You feel like you're sinking instead of rising above it all. But I'm trying to let you know that it is not your season to give up, okay? We go through the fall, the winter, the summer. We go through all these different seasons, and in each season, there are always obstacles that we have to go through. In the summertime, we go through rain, and all that's also in the spring. We go through the rain and the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all that good stuff. We go through all those things in these seasons. And what I want you to understand is that even though we have to go through the storms, we will come out of it if we do not give up. Sometimes you have to go through the storm. Sometimes the storm is not going to move on its own. You have to go through it. You have to rise above it. You have to see all the things going ahead of you. You have to see the atmosphere as where it is. You have to see everything that's not lining up and stuff being thrown everywhere. You have to see that. You have to see it through, because if you don't know where you're going to end up. Okay. If you give up, you never know if what you had in store or what you have that is birthed inside of you. You never know if that thing or if that dream will ever come true if you give up. So that's what this episode is about. It's about not giving up and keep going, because I promise you help is on the way. Somebody is looking at your stuff. Somebody is watching you, and they're ready to go ahead and give to you. They're ready to go ahead and sponsor you, but they can't do that if they don't see any type of productivity or any type of growth. When they start seeing you giving up, when they start seeing inconsistency, then they start backing away. Some people watch for a long time before they even try to sow into you. So this is your season. Right now is the time for you to get up. Get out of your comfort zone, get out of that bed, get off that couch, get out of those pajamas, and it's time for you to go ahead and start working on whatever it is that God has given you. Because what we have to realize is that God has set each and every one of us on this earth to do something. We all have gifts and talents, and because of that, and all of our gifts and talents are different because you don't know what people need, and somebody needs you. Somebody needs what you offer. Somebody needs your resources. Somebody needs your help. So if you decide to give up, the world would not be able to experience what you have to offer. And that could be anything. I don't care if you know how to write. I don't care if you know how to sing, if you know how to cook, if you know how to sew, whatever it is. I need you to get it done. Get to the business, okay? If it's working out, if it's making teas, if it's making body butters or creams or whatever it is, I don't care what it is. It's time for you to get active. It's time for you to go out and start promoting your stuff. You know, back in the day, we didn't have these phones and stuff like that to enhance our ability to get stuff out there. But now there is no reason why we should not, be out there, because there's so many avenues now that you can put your stuff on. There's so many avenues that you can promote your stuff on, but you have to come out of that box. I preached a message that said it's time to get off the boat. When Jesus went to the disciples, they were sleeping on the boat and stuff like that, and the storm came, and he begged Peter to come out on the water, to walk on water, and he had to have some water walking faith. And that's what I'm telling you. It's time for us to have some water walking faith. It's time up for boat level people. And if you have boat level people around you, it's time for you to get rid of them. Okay. You need people who are able to see that you are able to walk on water. Okay. If only you could walk on water, do you know how much you could experience by walking on water instead of staying in a boat waiting for the storm to pass over? If you step out on faith and begin to walk out on water, there's no telling what you will experience. There's so much out there for you to experience, but you're so comfortable being on the boat because you feel like that gives you safety. You know how we do. We have this old sweater that got holes in it, or these pajamas that are worth nothing, or this sweatshirt that you always wear, that's your go-to sweatshirt when you get ready to go to bed, or when you get ready to watch movies, or whatever it is. This is your lazy gear because it's comfortable for you. If you put this on, you're not going anywhere. It's time for you to give that up. What am I saying? I'm saying it's time for you to get rid of your old way of thinking. It's time for you to put on clothes. It's time for you to do your hair, do your makeup, go get a haircut, or whatever it is that you do. It's time for you to go ahead and get out of that boat. It's time for you to move abroad. That's what it's time for, because you know how we are. If we're putting on clothes, if we putting on makeup, we putting on shoes and stuff like that, we put on our cologne and our perfume, it's because we're about to go somewhere. That's what that means. You don't put on all these things to stay in the house. You put on clothes and shoes and makeup and do your hair because you know that you're about to go somewhere. Well, you are about to go somewhere. So it's time for you to take off those comfortable clothes and put on something that would capture the room. It's time for you to captivate every room that you walk into. This is the season for that. I know that we always say, well, when the new year comes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get up an extra hour early, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this and do that. That's what we do for the new year. But what I want you to do for this new year that's coming up, I want you to write down your gifts and your talents. Write down things that you are good at, that you are skillful at. And what I want you to do, I want you to start getting prepared to start executing those things. That's what I need you to do. I know we always say this is what we're going to do for the new year, but this is what I need you to do. I need you to at least write the stuff down and start preparing that list. Go one by one. I don't care what it is. Go one by one to make sure that you are prepared for 2024. Time waits for nobody. So I'm not telling you to wait till 2024. I'm telling you to start now with writing down your gifts and talents. And when you write that down, I'll need you to start preparing yourself to get ready to start executing your gifts and your talents. I don't care what it is. We start getting intimidated by other people because they may do the same thing you do. Somebody may do nails, somebody may do hair, somebody may cut hair, somebody may bake the same thing that you bake. It doesn't matter, because whatever it is, they may do the same thing that you're doing, but they're not you.
Somebody needs your gift. Somebody needs your talent. So because you will rob yourself by competing with other people or trying to see what other people are doing. Don't do that. Go ahead and go forth with whatever the gift and talent is that God has already given you. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you is that man can't take away anything that God has already given you. I'm gonna let you know that up front, because people think that they can take away your gift. They can't take away anything that they didn't give you. I was born to sing. When I came out my mama's womb, I was born to sing. So you can't take that from me. I was born to dance. You can't take that from me. Preach. You can't take that from me. So it doesn't matter what people feel that they can take from you. They can't take anything away from you that God has given you. So go ahead and work your gift and work your talent to the utmost so you can be successful and so you can leave an inheritance for your family and for your kids. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. I don't want my children out here having to work 9 to 5. So I want to be able to create, to build something where if they want to choose to go to school, they can. And if they don't, they can come and they can work with mama, because this eventually will be your business. So that's what I'm trying to create. I want to create wealth for my children. I want to create a legacy for my children, but I can't do that if I give up. You can't do that if you give up. People will never see you if you give up. I told you on one of my podcasts, I hope you watched the last one, the generational curse, because I was talking about how, one of my issues is being inconsistent and how hard it is for me to be consistent. But I refuse to give up, and I refuse to stop, because if I stop, then whoever I'm reaching will miss what it is that I have to give. There are so many people that came and have told me how much they have enjoyed my podcast. But if I listen to myself and I listen to the voices in my head, I wouldn't be here doing a podcast. You remember how our children used to say there were monsters up under their bed, and you used to go and used to check, and you should tell them, now you knew there was no monster up under their bed, but you would go and check anyways, because they felt like there was a monster up under their bed. They had that fear that there was something that was under there that was going to attack them. But we know that there's nothing there. That's how we are when it comes to stepping out on faith. We see all the imaginary monsters that are out to get us that's really not there. My father used to say fear is false evidence appearing real, which means it's only in our imagination. We have conjured up this monster that is not really there. We have conjured this monster up that is up under our bed, and what we don't understand is that it's really not there. We have the monster of rejection. We have the monster of they're really not going to gravitate to what I'm doing. We have the monster of depression and anxiety. It's not really there. If you step out on faith, you don't know who you're going to reach. You don't know if you're going to be rejected or not. But because you already have this fear, this false evidence that appears to be real, you have already short-sighted yourself. You have already given up before you have even started. So what I need you to do is place fear on the back burner, because the scripture says God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of love and the power of a sound mind. So we don't have to fear anything. We just need to step out on faith. We just need to get out of that boat and start walking on that water. If we're able to do that, if we start doing that, there are so many possibilities. There are so many things out there that we will encounter and interact with once we step out of our comfort zone. I don't care what your gifts and your talent is, somebody needs you. One of my monsters was I hated hearing my voice. I cannot stand to hear it when I'm recording it, when I'm listening back to it. I cannot stand the sound of it. So that was one of my monsters. People are not going to like my voice. They're not going to like what you sound like. They're going to think you sound like this and that. And they're not going to tune in. And that start getting to me. Or people not going to, then what you got to say is not going to be relevant. They're not going to be able to relate to it. So that was another monster These are things that I have conjured up inside of my head, not anything that people have said. This is what I have said on my own. Sometimes we are our own worst critic. We will kill our dream before anybody else does. And I don't care how old you are, how young you are. If you have life and breath in your body, you are still able to create. You know why? Because we are the sons and daughters of the Most High, who is the main creator. Our Father, God, He is the main creator. So why on earth will He have children that's not able to create? We should look like our Father. We should have characteristics like our Father. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to create like He created. There are so many things out here in this world that is needed, and they're waiting on you. People are waiting on you to get in position because they need what you offer. They need you. They need to see you. If you choreograph, if you dance, whatever it is, they need your services. They need whatever it is that you offer up. It's not time to give up. It's time to take a stand. It's time to prepare. It's time to go into 2024 with a strategy, with a plan. Not a New Year's resolution, but with a plan. Because if not, we're going to go right back to the same cycle. We're going to be sitting here and we're going to be wondering where all of our money went. We're going to be wondering why we're going paycheck to paycheck. It's because you have no plan. You have no strategy. It's because you did not write down the vision and make it plain. I have so many ideas. Me and my husband, we talk all the time, and my husband is my biggest pusher. Y'all need to find some supporters that will push you into excellence, okay? Because my husband is one of my biggest pushers. He makes sure that I'm doing whatever it is that I say I'm going to do, because he know, as well as some of my friends that I be around, they know that I will give up in a minute. I will stop doing whatever it is for whatever reason. But he pushes me, and they pushes me to keep going, to not give up. Like I said, he's one of my biggest supporter. And if you don't have a support system, if you don't have a community, then you need to find one. Because there are so many people here that are negative and will give you a negative response. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, so doing this, and you're going to be in competition with that. Oh, a lot of people do nails. A lot of people do hair. A lot of people do exercise. It doesn't matter. Get you a support system that's going to support whatever it is that you do. Get a support system that gives positive feedback and positive criticism. Not the negative one that's going to tear you down, but the one that's going to bring you up, that's going to raise you up and push you to go forward. Push you to pursue your dreams and pursue your gifts and your talents so they won't lay dormant. Don't sit down on your gift because you're too afraid to step out there on faith. Your children need you. Your children's children need you. Whatever it is, I don't care. If you're a writer, then write. It's just as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what your gift is. Do it. Some of us need pushers. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody to just push us out there. Most of us have like these people that are a yes man, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's okay to have a yes person, but sometimes you need somebody that will get into your tail and say, hey, you need to get up off your tail and you need to exercise your gift. We don't need people around us that's going to sit around us and help us lay dormant and help us, you know what I'm saying, kill our gifts. You know what I'm saying? We need pushers. Get you some pushers in your life. They are important, okay? I don't care. I remember when my husband will push me to exercise and push me to do whatever it is, I will get so upset with him because it was something that I knew I needed to do, but I did not want to do at the time. But he will push me to make sure that I was doing whatever it is to stay healthy, to keep going, to keep my drive going, to post videos or whatever. He will make sure that I was on my game. He still does. So that's what I'm saying. Get you a pusher. I don't care who it is. Find somebody that will push you to the max. And it doesn't matter. They don't care about your attitude. They don't care if you get upset with them or anything like that, because they know that they're doing this for your benefit. You need pushers. We need pushers. Okay. Our kids need to grow up with an inheritance, especially our Black culture. We need to set aside something for our children instead of bills, because most of us, when we die, the only thing that our children is going to be responsible for is paying off our bills. We need to make sure that our children are set up with an inheritance when we leave this earth. Okay. I don't know about you, but I want mine to be set up where they don't have to want for anything when I'm gone. That they will be able to take care of the business. They'll be able to take care of whatever it is that I have going on, because I've taught them, and I've taught them well. It's time out for excuses. I used the excuse for being inconsistent and giving up and all. It's time out for excuses. It's time for us to get our foot in the plow, to go ahead and step out there on faith and start lunging out into the deep. Okay, that's what it's time for. 2024, we will not spend 2024 like we spent 2023. I know we say that a lot, but I'm telling you, we are not going to spend 2024 like we did 2023. I'm going to help you. You going to help me. We going to be in this thing together. I know I'm going to see a whole bunch of entrepreneurs after this, because I know that y'all going to start writing down the things that you are gifted at, and you're going to start executing those plans. Okay. I know that because we're right here. You know what I'm saying? We see eye to eye. So I know that you're going to go out there and you're going to pursue your dreams, because it's not too late. As long as you can breathe, as long as you're inhaling and exhaling, then you have the ability to be successful. You have the ability to do whatever it is that God has called you to do, because somebody needs what you have to offer. Somebody needs your services. I don't care who's doing it. Somebody needs you. Somebody needs Talia. That's why Talia can't give up. That's why Talia can't be inconsistent, because somebody needs me. Okay. Somebody needs to know that I'm here for them. Somebody needs to know that no matter what, they can tune in on this podcast and know that I'm going to be here. They need to know that. So that's why I'm saying it's time out for excuses. It's time out to be inconsistent. It's time out for giving up. Do not give up, because help is on the way. Somebody is looking at you. Somebody's going to sponsor you. Somebody is going to give you a call. They're going to have some money for you. They're going to have avenues for you to branch out and go forth. All you need to do is keep going. I don't care what the storms look like. I don't care what the obstacles look like. All I need you to do is step out there, get out that boat, come out of your limits, come out of these tiny holes. My bishop sing a song that said, "Come out that corner, you can't hide." You know what I'm saying? So it's time for you to come out that corner, because it's no longer hiding season. Okay, it's time for you to come out. There's no more hiding. Come out so people can see the real you, so people can see what you have to offer, because this world needs you. This world needs Talia. This world needs whoever it is that is watching this podcast. They need you. They need whatever you have to offer. So get up, take them old clothes off, take those comfortable clothes off, and put on something that's going to captivate the room. Put on something that's going to make somebody stand up and give you money. Put on something that's gonna put you on somebody's mind. Okay, I'm telling you. Jasmine Sullivan sings a song. It's called Mascara, and she says she never leaves home without it, because you never know who you're gonna run into. You never know who you're gonna run into. So you need to step out of that boat. You can't run into somebody in your comfort zone. Okay, they can't see you in your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone and get into whatever it is that God has called you to do. Write it down. Go step by step, one by one. And then when 2024 hit, it's time for us to take off running. I refuse not to live out my dreams, not to be successful in 2024. And I'm refusing that over your life as well. We're going to break these generational curses. We're not going to go into 2024 with those generational curses. And we're not going into 2024 doing the same thing that we were doing in 2023. We're going to take these gifts and talents, and we're going to be successful and productive. We're going to make sure that our home is taken care of. We're going to make sure that our children's children are taken care of. We're going to make sure that they're not going to want for anything when we leave this earth. Okay. That's what we're going to do. I don't know about you, but I have been writing. I can show you guys. I have a journal, but I have been writing down the things that I know that God has called me to do. And remember what I told you, whatever God has called you to do, man cannot take it from you. I don't care what they say. They cannot take away your gifts and talents that the Lord himself has bestowed upon you. I don't care what they say. Do whatever it is that you have been called to do. I don't care if 50 million people are doing it. They're not you. They're not me. Go forth. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, you're going to hit some bumpy roads. Yes, there are going to be people that's going to reject you, and people are going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you whether you do good or whether you do bad. There always going to be talk out there. But if you launch out into the deep, if you step out in that water, if you get out that boat, if you step out of your comfort zone, if you get out of those comfortable clothes and put on some captivating clothes, if you do that, I promise you, you would not regret it. And when you go into 2024, you're going to go in there with a smile on your face. You're going to be productive. It's your time. It's your season. I don't care who says it's not. The devil is a lie. You are going to walk into 2024 with your head held high and with a plan. You're going to be strategic in what you're doing this year. Write the vision, make it plain, and then execute whatever it is that God has given you, and don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody deter you. Don't let the seasons deter you. Don't let the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the rain and the storms and the thunderstorms, don't let it deter you, because it's supposed to happen. It is necessary in order to get you where you're supposed to be. It's time out for us watching people on TV, on Netflix and on Hulu and all this stuff. They're supposed to be watching us. My husband says that all the time. He said, we sit here and we watch these people back. We sit here and we scrolling on our phones. We're looking at TikTok. These people should be watching us. We ain't supposed to be watching them. They're supposed to be watching us. And that's what I'm telling you. You need to do something where people are watching you and you're not watching them. Start bringing attention to yourself. Post content. Do whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. Because sitting at home, being on these phones, some of us spend most of our time on the phone and watching movies, sitting in the bed. That time could be spent building and creating. Count the hours that you spend at home on your phone and in that TV. Count those hours up and see how wasteful it is. See how much of that time that you can spend doing something that you are supposed to be doing something that will be productive to this world. See how much time that you spend on that TV and stuff like that. See how much time, because that is not productive. Have it made you any money? Have scrolling made you any money? Have posting just stupid stuff on Facebook made you any money? I'm talking about content. When I say post, I'm talking about content. Stuff that people need to see and people need to hear. I'm not talking about the gossiping sessions and the subliminal posts. I'm talking about being productive. How many of you have been productive in whatever it is that God has called you to do? How many of those hours have you spent watching BET and all this stuff? How many of those hours have you spent? If you take those hours and spend them building instead of gossiping and instead of throwing subliminals and instead of doing stupid posts, if you spend those hours instead of being wasteful and being productive, I guaranteed you by next year, 2025, you will already be successful. 2024 will be your uprising year, and 2025, 2026, you'll already be walking and glowing and everything else that you're supposed to be doing, because you stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. No more time to waste. Get out there and be successful. It's all up to you. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my podcast, because I want you guys to look good and be good and feel good. I know I messed that up, but I want you guys to be all of those things, and we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. I want to look good, be good, and feel good. I want to look good, feel good, be good. Okay? I want to do all those things, and I want you to be able to do those things as well. But we won't be able to do it if we don't cut some stuff away, if we don't start pruning some of this stuff before 2024 hits. So we have to start now. The time is now. Okay? Because you got to look good. You got to be smiling for real. It's time for you to be successful. It's time for you to have some money in your pocket. It's time for you to stop living from paycheck to paycheck. It's time for you to be an entrepreneur. It's your time. It's your season. So do not quit, because help is on the way. Somebody is watching you. I love you guys, and I hope you have had a great night. Good night.